The moment Harriet stepped out the door, the wind started in on her hair again. Luckily, hers was the kind of style that didn't mind a bit of rough handling. Falling just below her shoulders in choppy layers, it had always had a mind of its own. Most recently, it had decided to start streaking her formerly teak-coloured locks in ash grey. She was undecided whether to soften it with some highlights or go full Lily Munster. Her phone buzzed. Cornell. She tried to ignore the nervous tightening in her stomach as she pressed decline. As she made her way to the main gate, she spotted Leo, fifth member of the famous five and Rico's on-off boyfriend, slip through an arch, cut into the perimeter brick wall, and in a snap decision, decided to follow him. She kept a discreet distance as she followed Leo up the high street. He crossed the road, hurrying past the cafe on the corner and several fast food joints, and then the Salvation Army band, who appeared to have great stamina and a limitless repertoire. Suddenly, he ducked behind the giant Christmas tree. "Where are you off to?" She tailed him as he walked briskly past the front of the Winter Theatre and down the side of the building. She turned the corner just in time to see him squeeze behind a large piece of corrugated iron and disappear through what must have been the old backstage door. Her phone buzzed again, and she checked it. Cornell. Not answering a work call went against her every instinct, but she couldn't risk answering it and have him realise she was off campus. She let it go to voicemail and consoled herself with the knowledge that if it was urgent, Ali would call. While she waited in the alley beside the theatre to see if Leo re-emerged, her phone rang with a call from Jules, her liaison with the teen counselling service. There were too few therapists in the area, and there was a woefully long waiting list to see them. She kept her voice low as she spoke with Jules, phone pinned to her ear by her shoulder as she scribbled notes. The call ended. Still no sign of Leo. There was only one thing for it. Checking that the coast was clear, she lifted the corrugated iron and pushed open the peeling red door behind it. It was dark, and she had to use her phone torch as she carefully navigated the narrow concrete stairs littered with old leaves and rubbish. This would have been the entrance for the theatre workers, away from the glamour of the front doors. Posters, torn and brown with damp, lined the walls, and the air was cold and sour with the tang of forgotten dreams. From somewhere farther inside the building, she heard muffled snatches of voices and followed the sound. At the top of the stairs was a corridor, which split into three and was signposted dressing rooms, stage, and front of house. The corridors leading to the former were in darkness, but there was a dim light at the end of the one leading to the front of house, and it was this that Harriet decided to follow. Here there was carpet, albeit carpet that had seen better days, and the farther along she walked, the more decorative the corridor became. Soon, paper posters were replaced by prints in Baroque-style frames, their details obscured by decades of dust. The walls became panelled below and ornately corniced above, and the ceiling height grew and arched. Now she was faced with two more choices: lobby or house. She chose lobby, and in a few moments found herself stepping down a short flight of stairs and out into a wide space. A cobweb-strewn chandelier hung down from a ceiling that was decorated with swirling roses and twisting thorns. The plasterwork was cracked and chipped, and in places damp patches bloomed in brown frills across the once white stucco. The light that had drawn her came from dimly glowing Art Nouveau wall sconces. These too dripped with cobwebs. To allow such grandeur to rot felt almost obscene. This was the Miss Havisham of buildings, bitter and disbelieving of its fate.